another episode of Psychonaut Sessions. Your home for all things psycho, and it is Halloween month, so I'm covering scary things, scary books, or horror-oriented books. Maybe not necessarily scary, just some cool stuff for Halloween. It seems like it's a long month too, which is awesome because it's the best month out of the year. I'm going to continue my coverage of Black Lamb. I covered issue 1 like a year or 2 years ago, and I just recently dropped issues 2 and 3. I'm going to take a look at issue 4 because this is kind of like a standalone story that connects other stories within this 6 issue limited series by the master Tim Truman with painting work by Sam Parsons. Um, Although I think Timothy Truman did all of the work on the covers. It seems to be a different kind of paint job, but still all by hand, both inside and out. Beautiful book, beautiful cover. I mean, this could be a poster. This definitely reeks of Vampire Hunter D vibes. It's certainly got that tone throughout the whole thing. As discussed before, it seems to be like an alternate dystopian type sci-fi future with horror elements. It's a I mean, this mixes everything I love into a perfect amalgamation, and the um, design and quality of it is just top notch as well. It's everything I love. The only thing, and I don't think this ever gets explained at all, is he's always walking around with this like little pin, this button with a broken heart symbol, and I don't think that's ever. I mean, he has a tragic past, and how he became what he became. We saw earlier in the last issue, but I don't know. But this one was kind of a fun one. I mean, it's standalone story, but it ties in a bunch of other things. But they saved Walt Whitman's brain, so I was really excited about that when I saw the blurb for that in the last one. Just in the typical style of this, we get some stuff from the past, painted in these kind of muted sepia tones. So funny, Walt Whitman's brain, and then we got a whole ad of all these brains from Mars Attacks. Wonder if that was intentional. But apparently, they would save the brains of certain people to study, like mass murderers, but also, people with a genius quality like Walt Whitman. Um, Scientists kept it, and I guess for research, this guy carrying it falls and breaks the canister, and now it's all dirty and just throw away now. So he throws it down into the sewage system, and apparently there was a fellow here who was getting attacked by other people for doing scientific stuff like I don't know, like reanimation of the dead sort of thing, like a Dr. Frankenstein a few years later, or similarly in close proximity of time. Village is attacking him, so he's trying to dispose of all of his like experiments and stuff, and he pours that down the drain. So all this stuff, along with these different body parts and things, along with Walt Whitman's brain, are all getting fused, coalesced together into the sewers. All right, so the future. Last issue, there was a mass, series of murders going on, and they're disposing of the bodies here, and we've got some kind of religious cult of all these children that were killed, and this cult is like praying for them as the bodies are getting disposed in an incinerator, because that's kind of what you have to do in the future, because there's no room for anything, and you don't have graveyards, you just have to burn bodies. And we get this weird figure in the background coming to check out what's what, and you get the impression he's being followed, and he jumps into the incinerator machine, the crematorium machine, and our cop guy is watching. So this dude is just kind of been in and out very briefly, just kind of watching from the side. He's apparently the commissioner. And like the last issue, he kind of talked about how he has the ability to sense monsters. So definitely there is something in regards to the monsters not being fully recognized in human society, still kind of myths, but definitely close to having some sort of recognition. So he's seeing what's going on here. And again, just all like Timothy Truman style of stuff. So we got these weird guys. These are all humans, but they're just dressed weird. These dudes that are twins, they're basically monster hunters, and they've been chasing this guy all the way down from somewhere in Asia. This particular monster. And apparently he was framed. They say that he killed a bunch of humans. So these monster hunters are after him. They all look almost weird and monstrous themselves, but these are just people in costume. Really cool designs. I mean, just that's kind of the thing I love about this book is just the style of it is so fun and unique. Just weird. It's got that blend of Victorian steampunk with futuristic kind of dystopia sci-fi all mixed together. So of course Black Land comes in to keep them from hunting down the monster, starts taking out the guys. We get some really cool action. It's it's just kind of your basic story where then now he's like going down into the deep canals of the city and running away, and these dudes are chasing after him. These guys are a lot of fun. They're like the kind of twins that you could probably guess they finish each other's sentences almost like they have one mind. Again, the color choice by Parsons is fucking fantastic. Nice and dirty. A lot of this I think was done with the coloring. If not, I mean, kudos to Timothy Truman on the ink job, but it doesn't look like his inking style to do, like dirty scrub brushworks. Timothy Truman usually is pretty strong on his line work. I'm almost getting the sense as I'm looking through this that maybe he didn't draw this on 11 by 17. That maybe he drew it a little bit smaller because the way it's getting blown up, the ink lines just, I don't know, they have this they have this quality to them as if like this was probably drawn much smaller than even this page. So I'm wondering how he did this. I'm gonna have to get Timothy Truman on the horn someday because I really love that man. His legacy is incredible. So of course, as they run through the sewers, we get this sewage monster blurbing up from the sewage. So I think we can all kind of tell what's going to happen. And this was the monster that is a blend of Walt Whitman and other Frankensteinian stuff. Just really fun. Again, look at the mask. Again, these people are human, so it's the whole, who's more monstrous, the human beings or the monsters themselves sort of shtick. Parsons is really paying attention to his coloring choices. He's not just going with a bland, or not a basic color palette because, now we get these certain scenes where this is all like a highlight on blue, or like a constant color of blue throughout with like a highlight of yellow in the middle panel to highlight the specific action. It's really cool. He's like spearing two guys at the same time. Black Lamb's a badass. You can't really beat him. We get some cool gore, but it's not like too gory. It's just really fun swashbuckling kind of stuff. So as he saves the guy, he finds out that the dude, whose name is Mosquito, actually did kill some little girls. So after saving him and taking out the monster hunters, then he takes them out. And the whole purpose is because it's like we are the ones to mete out justice for our own kind. You don't get to you don't get to do that for us, sort of thing. That's kind of his paradigm. So these dudes are like, hey, you shouldn't have done that, and you're a monster yourself, so we're just going to kill you. But then the cop comes up to rescue Black Lamb. They shoot at the cop, but so that we get into this chase now where the cop and Black Lamb sort of team up a little bit. Black Lamb saves him after he saved Black Lamb from these dudes who are coming to hunt them both down now. Really fun where the twins are kind of coming out of this sewage hole, and they have these like little rocket packs to shoot us. So much fun. I would love to see this in a cartoon. This would make a really cool anime in like a Spawn cartoon style. For sure. For sure. So they chase after them. Unfortunately, this is showing, and it's not a surprise, but the monster pops out to scare these guys off. And this is the Walt Whitman monster thing, or the monster with Walt Whitman's brain. And apparently he knows of this monster. Black Lamb does, but he doesn't really actually know him intimately. They try to shoot at him, and it hurts, and he just throws them to the side. And I think they survive. It's just kind of like, yeah, leave them be and go. And they all take off. The monster doesn't say anything like fun or, let's see, poetic or interesting. He just, no, hurt, and that's it, and it's done. And it's like, what? Why? Wait, if you're gonna highlight that it's Walt Whitman's brain, it would have been cool to have this monster like spouting some poetry or something, or being like, and then that's it, and they're done, and they walk off, and it's like, man, I was a tad disappointed by that. Oh well, still a cool comic, but that one piece was, I kind of wish they could have developed that a little bit more. I don't know. I got some thoughts here, like coming up in the next couple issues too. I'm going to cover the next two issues in one because it's all one storyline, and we'll talk through that. So I have some thoughts regarding this series. Still loving it. Still really glad that I have it. My God, these covers just blow me away. This is a poster. This is a print. This needs to be a framed art print. Where is this original artwork at, Mr. Timothy Truman? Please let us know, because this is fucking beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Thank you so much for staying with me. I have my own comics and books in the description. You can buy in my shop. You can subscribe to my Patreon. Have a happy Halloween month, and keep it psycho.